Welcome back to another video on the channel. I thought I would give my quick thoughts on four of the standout last 16 ties of the WTA Abu Dhabi event. I'm thoroughly enjoying the event. I think after the pre-season break it's always good to have tennis back. I think you're considering that it is the first tournament back and there is still no crowd. I think the quality's been quite impressive. I still struggle to enjoy tennis as much without a crowd, so it is fantastic that the Australian Open will have a 50 to 75% fan capacity. I think that'll make the tennis improve on both the men's and women's side. But yeah, still thoroughly enjoying the WTA Abu Dhabi event. I think we've seen some great tennis, and some of the last 16 quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals will be very interesting matchups. Did want to do a video just quickly talking about some of those last 16 matches. I've picked four out in particular that I think are very interesting on paper. Kicking things off with the number one seed, Sophia Kennen, up against Yulia Putintseva. Kennen obviously arrives into 2021 looking to back up what was a fantastic 2020 in which she won the Lyon title, but most importantly the Australian Open back in January 2020, winning her maiden Grand Slam title. Also reached the French Open final, which she lost to Iga Swiatek. For Sophia Kennen so far this week, I don't think she's played the best tennis by any stretch, but it is still very early stages, obviously in 2021, and she does seem to play better when under the most pressure in the biggest matches. She's making more unforced errors than usual, simple rally shots hitting the net or going long, which is very unlike Kennen. She's losing serve and not converting break points. She has played some quality tennis too, which I should add. It's been enough to see her reach round 3, but we obviously saw that horrific injury to Kirsten Flipkens in round 2 when Kennen was a set down 5-4. So it's difficult to say whether Kennen would have been here had Flipkens not got that injury. But she has played some quality tennis, at times when she's had to. She's found that double-handed backhand, she's found the big forehand, the good first serve, and she will need to be at somewhere near her best, I think, to beat Putintseva. To win these sort of events now, coming up with the best players like the likes of Irina, Svitolina, Garbine and Muguruza, Yulia Putintseva. You can't beat those sort of players with average performances. Kennen won titles last year because of her consistency, that solid game style, converting break points, saving break points. She hasn't done that as well this tournament, but as I say, it is early in 2021, and I think the better player she plays, and the better Sophia Kennen we will see. So just talking a little bit about Putintseva, you need to be at a good level to beat Yulia Putintseva. We know she's a player that always produces solid tennis. She asks questions of her opponents, and you just have to play good quality solid tennis to beat her. I think if Kennen can find that consistency and serves well, she will have enough power and variety to hit through Putintseva on a fast hard court, but Putintseva will certainly ask questions. I don't think Sophia Kennen's been serving well, making a lot of double faults and missing a lot of first serves. If she continues to do that and make a lot of unforced errors, then I do think Putintseva could win. We know Putinseva's got a very good defence. She has good shot variety. She's capable of hitting winners on her own. And I think in this one it's about who can win the first set and find that consistency first. I do expect Sophia Kennen to win this. I think the match is on Kennen's record. I think she's a better hardcore player than Putintseva. But Kennen will have to improve on her first 2-round performances if she is to win this one. Moving on now to what is probably match of the last 16 between Garbine Muguruza and Maria Sicary. I completely forgot her first name then. Muguruza has been hit and miss over the past few years. Obviously she performed very well at this last year's Australian Open, reaching the final before losing to Sophia Kennen. I think Garbine Muguruza, her game largely depends on how she serves and returns. If she serves and returns very well, a game sort of falls into place. It allows her to move into the court, be aggressive, attack the net. We know she's a very good volleyer, play her style of tennis and just impose herself in the match from an early stage, which is often enough to see her win. We know she's got that huge quality on the forehand, creates great angles, and like they say, likes to come into the net and keep the point short. She is still very vulnerable to mental lapses, slow starts, runs of unforced errors, particularly when not serving well. I think we saw a couple of mental blocks and vulnerabilities against Sasnovich in round two, but Sasnovich just wasn't consistent enough to take advantage. She broke Muguruza a couple of times, but then gifted break straight back, and Muguruza just turned it on for a couple of games in each set, which was enough to take the match in straight sets. But Muguruza, I must say, looks very determined. She, as I say, reached that Australian Open final last year. She'll have wanted to reach a final again and obviously win it in 2021. She does look determined. Beating players like Sicary will mean she's playing well and confident in the game. So this is a big match, I think, for Muguruza. She can't play average and win. She will have to play somewhere near her best, I think, to beat Sicary. Talking a little bit about the Greek player, I think Sicary is certainly a player to watch in 2021. She's a player that can win major titles and enter the top 10 in 2021, in my opinion. She's got a huge forehand and serve, which will take her a long, long way. And for me, it's about Sicary finding consistency within a game. She made a very slow start earlier today against Coco Gauff in round two. She was love 3 down, playing very poor tennis in the opening 10 or 15 minutes. But once Sicary hit the straps, moved into the court, found the line, she just had a bigger weight of shot and dominated Coco Gauff. I said on Twitter from an early stage that this match is on Sicary's racket. As soon as she gets into the rallies and starts painting the lines, her cross-court backhand and forehands down the line are just so clean, so precise, and she just hits winners for fun. Sicary has that potential, in my opinion, with the big first serve, the monster forehand, the cross-court backhand. Sicary just needs a couple of wins over top 5 players in a major title, then her career could really take off. If I was coaching Sicary, I'd just say to keep it simple. You have the tools, just concentrate on making first serves, attack every short ball. That's when she's at her best. And I don't think Sicary needs to complicate the game at all. She's got fantastic tools there, just about producing them on a consistent basis. In terms of winner, this was very close. I did initially fancy Sicary, but the more I thought about the match, I've switched to picking Garbine and Muguruza. I think it'll be very close. I think it'll depend on who serves best and who can move into the court and win the all-important opening set. I just think Muguruza probably has a little bit more variation in the game. She attacks the net better than what Sicary does, in my opinion, and she can match Sicary's court from the back of the court. I think Sicary's a typically slow starter. She takes time to find the forehand consistently, and Muguruza's got more experience in these big matches and looks determined to back up 2020. But as I say, the first is key. Whoever settles better and starts nailing winners will win. But it's a very good matchup and a match that I'm very much looking forward to watching. Moving on to Irina Sabalenga against Anja Jabeur. Irina Sabalenga obviously on 11 match win streak, full of confidence, chasing titles and very, very explosive. Again, similarly to Maria Sicary, I think her game's on the verge of going to that next level. She's on the verge of winning a major title. I just think she needs to add consistency again. The second serve does remain an issue, still serves a lot of double faults. But a lot of these matches are dependent on who can serve well, who can move into the court and win the opening set. All these top 20, 30 players on the WTA do possess the great ground strokes, but who can get in a position to unleash those ground strokes. Sabalenka is a player who is playing with immense confidence at the moment, and just believes she can blow anybody off the court, which she's capable of doing. Anja Jabeur is one of my favourite players to watch in the WTA. She's very unorthodox, she's crafty, she's got great drop shots, variations, but she also possesses that huge power on the forehand and backhand. She is a player that has it all, really. And I'm actually going to go against the odds here. I do think Anja Jabeur can beat Irina Sabalenka. I think she has variations that you'd need to beat a player like Sabalenka. Sabalenka is a player that likes short balls on offer, balls that she can get on top of, use her height and strength to dictate play and move players around the court. I think Jabeur, if she gets her tactics right, if she uses a slice, keeps the ball low, gets Sabalenga into the net, then she can win. But Sabalenga, as I say, is in the form of life at the moment. Looks a player that is on the verge of winning a major title, and I think she knows herself and she has the game to blow everybody in the world off the court when she's playing her best. So again, a fantastic watch, but I'm going to say that Anja reaches the quarter-final stage. And finally, the match I'm going to look at is Alexandrova against Irina Svitolina. Alexandrova's not a player I've seen a lot, I must admit, pre-tournament. She got a very important win over Heather Watson, who we know is a threat on hard courts. It was a marathon match, not great quality, I must say. She battled hard and did eventually get over the line. She probably should have beat Watson a lot more comfortable than she did. Her serve is very hit and miss. I think she had something like 17 aces and 13 double faults. On the other hand, Svitolina is one of my favourite players to watch in the WTA. You know, if I was a junior tennis player, I'd be watching Irina Svitolina play tennis. You know, she's got brilliant technique in every shot, fantastic movement, and just all-round quality tennis player. I don't think, you know, Svitolina moves into the court enough as she probably should. I know that isn't really a game style. She likes to be bossing those long exchanges from the back of the court, not making unforced errors, just wearing opponents down. But every point that she wins seems to be very hard work. But yeah, she's got great consistency to her game, quality ground strokes and great movement. I predicted her to win this event. You know, pre-tournament, she's won 2 events in Dubai in her career. She performs well in these conditions. She's gearing up for a big 2 or 3 years, approaching a peak. I think Alexandrova looked fatigued at the end of that Watson match, and the last person you probably want to face in the next round is Svitolina, who dominates the long grueling points. Svitolina, I think, will just wear Alexandrova down, and the quality will shine through. We know the quality that Svitolina brings to the court, and in my opinion, that will be enough to outclass Alexandrova. So yeah, I just thought I would preview 4 of the standout matches of the last 16. They're all played tomorrow, I believe, and then I will be bringing out a video tomorrow previewing the quarterfinals. You know, we're getting to the business end now of this tournament. The final being played on Wednesday. If you're not following me on Twitter, I will leave my username in the description below, where I am covering the event. But please like, subscribe, and also leave your tournament predictions or last 16 predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next video.